Fahad believed his empire was built on concrete, but Alyana knew it was built on paper, specifically, the forged signatures and environmental violations he had buried years ago. She didn't just expose him, she dismantled his security. Using the digital skills she'd honed in the shadows, Alyana bypassed his firm's internal servers. She leaked the real blueprints of his flagship luxury project, revealing the cheap hazardous materials he'd substituted to pocket the difference. By the time the city inspectors arrived, Fahad's investors had already pulled out. He watched his bank accounts freeze, as the lawsuits began to pile up, like the rubble of his reputation. He was no longer a ruler of the industry, he was a liability. Finally, there was Cheyenne. The one who had taken the notebook. The one who had looked her in the eye and threatened her mother. Cheyenne was the most dangerous, because he was the most charming. He was preparing to accept a Visionary of the Year award when his phone chimed. It was a video file from an anonymous sender. The footage was grainy but clear. Cheyenne in that private room, leaning over the table, mocking Alyana's poverty while holding her stolen work. The audio captured every word of his threat. "I'm not just going to take your career, Cheyenne," a voice whispered through his speakers, distorted, but chillingly familiar. "I'm going to take your legacy." As he stepped onto the stage, the giant LED screens behind him didn't show his portfolio. They played the recording. The room went silent. The same silence Alyana had lived in for years, only now, it belonged to him. The aftermath. Alyana stood in the back of the auditorium, a shadow among the elite. She didn't stay to watch him crumble. She already knew the weight of that fall. She had reclaimed her mother's dignity, and her own name. But as she walked out into the cool night air, she realized she was no longer the girl from the leaking house. She was something else entirely.